Hello everybody, welcome to my loft. Rusty Blackwood here, and I'm here to do my Valentine's Day video. This is February the 9th, and of course Valentine's isn't yet for 5 days, but better, better to be a little on the early side than leave it too late. And so that's what I'm doing here today. I had mentioned when I did my last impromptu video for Facebook that I would be planning to do a Valentine's video at some point this week, and so I thought this is a good day. It's nice and bright. There's sunshine outside. Sunshine's coming in my skylights, and so it's a nice afternoon to be able to do this, and so I'm here to do it. Um, I have to apologize because I was doing a prior video to this where I was talking about a lot of different things, and I still may post it up because I did talk about a lot of stuff that I think is kind of important for people in a situation where they're on their own. They're not with somebody, for Valentine's Day. Like, it's always viewed and touted as a day for couples, married people or people in a relationship. But, people that are single, people that are on their own, it's a little different for them than it is for a couple. And so I might just post it up because my battery went down on me in a very quick hurry, and I should have had it plugged in, but I didn't, and it came up and said I had no more power in my battery, and so I plugged it in, went to plug it in, and then my screen went blank, and I couldn't get it back up to continue the video. So now here I am doing a brand new video, and as always, trying trying to recall what it was that I was talking about, and but there's no sense in trying to think about what I had to say because there's no way that I can recall it word for word. And so I think I might post the prior video up the way it is, and you can hear that. I'll put it part one, and this one I'll follow it right up and do part two, so that it's a continuation. I was just going to read some from my very first romantic fiction drama novel, Passions in Paris, Revelations of a Lost Diary, which you can see is a grand scale novel. It's an 818-page novel, and it centers around these two on the cover, Joy Witchmere and Cullen Malone. Joy is Canadian author, and Cullen is an Irish actor musician, and someone whom Joy always had a special attraction to, never knowing exactly why she felt the way she does, but she she's always felt it, and she I'm not going to say a lot because it gives the novel away without reading it for yourself, but she finally gets to actually meet him and be with him, and it's just one dire circumstance begins to happen after another, and takes you through the end of the story. But I want to read a section here that is very in keeping with Valentine's Day. This is from chapter 11, and the name of the chapter is Birds of a Feather. And this is a night that her first night that she gets to spend with him, and so I will just read this for you. His lips brushed the side of my neck as I felt the fabric slide to the floor. My head lay back. His breath was so warm upon my skin, all I could do was sigh with pleasure. Fingers tickled my sides as lips caressed my neck, all the while his hands explored my stomach. I turned in his arms, gazing up at his face. He stood still, gazing into my eyes as I gently untied his robe and let it slide down his back. My arms gently slid around his trim waist as he leaned down, meeting my lips with his. Gentle arms lifted me as he nuzzled my hair, then he slowly carried me to the mattress. His boots hit the floor, one at a time as he carefully lay down beside me, taking me gently in his arms. I let him draw me against him as he lay on his back, his long, dark hair spilling over the pillow while I gazed deeply into his eyes where I saw myself looking back. At that moment, I knew what was meant to be, and I suddenly felt completely free, like a young bird trying its wings for the very first time. We didn't speak. There was no need for words, only feelings, as we were lost in the incredible desire consuming us. We took each other to a place we'd never been before, and as Christmas music softly played, our hearts, like a young bird's wings, began to fly, taking us higher than we had ever been before. It was like the first time for both of us. A feeling of sheer contentment swept over me, making me feel as if my life had just begun. He lay there, spent, eyes closed while I gently whispered my love for him as warmth flooded my entire body with each word, for he was everything I knew he would be, and more. I feel the same way about you, darling, he sighed, teetering on the brink of sleep. Cully, have you ever felt so alive? I asked in wonderment. Well, at this moment I feel extremely wiped, he slowly answered as he lay there, breathing deeply. I've never felt like this. I hope you're feeling the same, I replied while sheer excitement reached, with sheer excitement reaching to touch his face. I'm in love's all I know. Nobody ever made me feel that good, never, he whispered quietly, and I knew I was losing him to sleep. The situation's dreaded realization crept back into my mind like a rat finding an opening in a wall, but I found myself refusing to feel guilt about something that felt so right. We did not do anything wrong, or did we? I gazed intently at the ceiling, trying in vain to drive the ensuing feeling from my mind. Endless questions kept popping into my head, questions I refused to answer. There was no denying my feelings. God knows I've tried. But I know that even He understands and won't turn His back on me. So why do I feel Dean will? He knew this might happen, and I really think he understood. But did he lie when he told me that? He probably thought that even if I did have the chance, I'd never do it. And and what about what he's doing? Or who? More importantly, what about what he did? I suppose in his eyes it wasn't the same, but it was, and I forgave him. But it's different now. I've really fallen in love with Cully. So how am I going to make Dean understand? What will he do? Leave me? Wouldn't be the first time, I answered aloud. But I didn't want that either because, as idiotic as it sounds, I still had feelings for him. Oh God, this is hopeless. The mattress jiggled as Cullen rearranged his position. A long sigh escaped his throat, and he unknowingly reached for me, making me wonder what he would do about the situation. My smile soon faded when another thought reared its dark-haired head. Yvette. Will she really take the little girl away because of me? There was no reason before, but what about now? Cully and I are friends. We always will be because I have no intention in staying out of his life. Not now, unless it's what he wants, but somehow I don't think so. An old adage suddenly popped into my head. Birds of a feather flock together. And we seem to think alike. This thought trailed away as another took its place, accompanied with a visualization of what we just experienced as it screamed, "Guess we just proved that." So I'm going to leave it at that. And maybe you might like to find out what all happens to Joy and Cully throughout this story. As a Dean, who you heard me mention there, is Joy's husband. And they have been married for a lot of years. They have family together. They even have grandchildren together. And they're just like oftentimes in marriages, as years and years and years go by, for whatever reason, problems, money issues, all kinds of things that happen in a marriage, they started to drift apart. And they both knew it, but it didn't seem to matter to them, and and they weren't doing anything to try to fix it. And so, because of the way Joy always felt about Cullen Malone, there was a radio contest that had happened, and it was because of Cully being an actor. He was doing a promotion for his newest film, and the prize was an all-paid, expense-paid trip for two to Paris at the turn of the 21st century. And and the woman would be able to spend an evening with him, have dinner with him in his suite privately, and spend the evening. Well, of course, she takes Dean. She wins, needless to say, she wins, and she gets there. She takes Dean with her, but little does she know, Dean has another plan on his agenda for wanting to go to Paris as well. Of course, Joy knows none of this and who he's planning to meet and have time with when he's there. And of course, this is all unbeknownst to Joy. And Joy is very open with Dean about Cullen and the way she feels. And Dean is very, very aware of all of this. It's not like she's doing anything behind his back. And so, of course, when she meets Cully and he sees her too, there's just this instant, it's like deja vu, and it's this instant attraction that they've each found the one that they have been searching for their entire life. It's like they found their soulmate, and of course, because of these feelings, they're so strong. They're overcome with them, and needless to say, as the part I just read, that they lay together and they fall in love with each other, and because obviously they always have been in love, and so this is a way that they physically get to act upon it, and I'm not going to go into any more because, as I say, it starts to give the story away a little too much of what's going on without you reading it to find out what's going on. But it gets very, very entwined and very deep what begins to happen, and it's totally beyond their control, um, and they just have to do the best they can to cope with what continues to come their way. Now, this Yvette that I mentioned in the story is Cullen's companion. He has a little girl with her, and it's the same. They've been together for quite some time. They're not satisfied. They're drifting apart because he knows that this is not who I'm supposed to be with, and the same as Cully, or as, excuse me, the same as Joy, feeling that her marriage is coming to an end, even though it's not really what she wants, but circumstances are what they are, and the her and Cully, they both realize this. They each have obligations to this another person, and they have family, and so that also makes things very difficult because they're trying to be responsible and not turn their back on their responsibility. And so this goes on throughout the story until it finally comes to its end. So I hope that you'll give the novel a chance and get yourself a copy. If you don't want to hold, um, like some people are not put off by the size of a book at all, but some people are, and it is a fair weight to hold, as you can see. Um, but it is available in Kindle as well, and you can read it on your computer screen or on your tablet. I wouldn't suggest reading it on your phone because to me that is a very small screen, and if you've got a decent sized tablet, at least that's better than trying to read off a concentrated little area. And the book is available on all Amazons in Kindle and in paperback, and so I hope you will give it some consideration and possibly check it out and see for yourself. Please visit my official website, www.rusty-blackwood.com, and on there you can find out all kinds of things, all information about my work, about me, about the different titles that I've written, my comedy series, my romantic fiction dramas, my children's short story collections, and my poetry, both contemporary and traditional poetry. And so when you check out my bio, you tend to find out sort of all about me and why I do what I do and why I love it so much. So I hope you'll give it a chance and check it out. And I do these videos from time to time, usually always before a certain occasion that's going to be happening in the month. But sometimes it's just I like to sit down and talk to you on the other side of this screen and connect with you that way. So please feel free to connect with me if there's questions you have for me, or you want to make a comment, or um, anything. Feel free to ask me, contact me, and I will contact you back. Um, my email address is on my website, um, and or you can contact me on the website's email as well. And I always get back to anybody who does contact me. Um, I'd like to invite you to like my Facebook, um, and like my Twitter. Follow my Twitter if you would, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rusty Blackwood. And there's more videos all the time coming on. And the last two impromptu videos I did that are just on Facebook aren't on my YouTube channel, but I may load them up. I don't know, but you can see them on Facebook, Rusty Blackwood Facebook. And so if you're interested, you can always check them out there. And so for now, I'm going to close because, as I say, I'm going to include this second video along with the first one that got cut off. And so there'll be part one and part two. And so it's always a pleasure to sit and talk with all of you. And I thank those of you who tune into my videos and follow me. And I just recently did what is called a writer's lift, hashtag writer's lift on Twitter. And what that is authors supporting other authors by doing one of these writers lift where you host whatever author would like to put their titles on Twitter, and you retweet it, you share it, you follow each other, and it helps to build your following, and it also helps to promote your work. And so it was very successful. I did it last Sunday afternoon, and it brought me tons and tons of more followers. And I hope that I helped, I assisted in all these different authors for them gaining more followers and bringing more awareness to their work. And I hope in return will bring sales to their work. We all have to help each other. The way it's been, no bookstores are doing any events for authors in the local areas of these bookstores. And so if it wasn't for the internet, we'd have absolutely no outlet whatsoever. And so at least the internet provides that. And so those of us that are on the different social media sites, do what we can to continue to bring awareness to our work, however that is. So I hope you will be supportive and follow. And so thank you for now. I'm going to wish God's blessings to each of you. And I will be back soon. Of course, next month is St. Patrick's Day, but I'll be back long before then. I also wish you in Ontario, my readers and families here in Ontario, a very happy upcoming Family Day, which is the last Monday of this month. It gives everybody an extended weekend, and it gives everybody that little bit of a break and holiday to celebrate it with their families and have family time, which is so very important. So I will say bye-bye for now, and I will talk to you again soon. So take care. Bye for now.